we are back today and we're going to do a Skinfold assessment. So we're going to do the 7-site Skinfold and the 3-site Skinfold. There's a 9 and there's an 11, but those are the main ones that we're going to focus on today. Basically, what this does is it measures our subcutaneous body fat, so all the fat on the outside of our body, which typically makes up 50% of our total body fat. So once we get this calculation, we'll plug it into an equation that predicts our total percent body fat. So that's the goal on this. So what we're going to do first is we're going to mark all of our sites. This is Kristen. She's going to be our client today. With your client, for females, you're going to either have them in a sports bra or a tank top. And then males, it's just easier if their shirt's off to just access all the locations easier. But of course, you're going to ask them if they feel comfortable. If they are wearing a tank top, you can still get to those locations. You just might risk some pen ink on the shirt. So here are 7. If you look up here, I have them color coded for you. Triceps in pink, it's one of our three Skinfold sites for females. Suprailiacs in pink, and then thighs in pink and blue because it's used for males and females. Abdomen is one of the ones for males, and chest is one of the ones for males. All 7 are used for both males and females in the 7-site Skinfold test. So if you're going to do one and you don't have a lot of time, you're going to pick the 3-site, but if you have the time, the more areas of the body we can collect data on, the more accurate our measure is going to be. So we're going to start with triceps. Kristen's going to face towards her left. All sides are measured on the right side of the body, and you either make an X or a T. So Kristen's going to bend her elbow at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to find the acromion process and then bring my tape measure down to the olecranon process, which is the pointy part of the elbow. All right, I've got a 14, which means I'm going to make my horizontal line at 7. And then you pinch here. This is a vertical fold, and then you're going to make your vertical line. All right, next I'm going to do subscap. I'm going to ask Kristen to bring her right arm behind her. So this is your scapula. The reason I'm having her bring her arm behind her is because this is an easy way for me to locate. Some people it's easy, you don't need to do that, but other people it's a little harder to see. So you're going to go 1 to 2 centimeters below the inferior point of the scapula. This is a diagonal line. So we're going to go here and then make our X there. Then she's going to turn and face you guys. This one's a little trickier with females based upon comfortability, but the chest is different for males and females. This is the only one that's different. For males, it's halfway between the nipple and the armpit line. And then for females, it's 1/3 of the way. So you're gonna have your client hold that 0 mark at their nipple, so then you don't have to do it, and then hold it with the other hand, and then leave this hand straight. Okay, and then I'm gonna measure to her armpit crease here, which is a 3, so 1/3 of that would be 1. Hold on, let's do that one more time. Sorry. I should mark my line before I move this. So can you move this sports bra just down about 1/2 inch? Yep. All right. So this is a diagonal fold as well. All right, so the next one is the mid-axilla or axilla. So you find that xiphoid process, then you're going to take your tape measure and make sure it's perpendicular to the axis of their body and then parallel to the floor. So Kristen, can you cross your right arm across your shoulder? So you're going to take the line here. You're not measuring anything. This is just to make sure that you've got a straight line. And then if you can face this way for me, I'm going to turn with you. Right here, the midway point of her torso, that is where the mid-axilla mark is going to be. And then while we're at this side, we're going to do suprailiac. So this one you're going to palpate with your hand. I'm going to turn this way for you guys. You're going to find the top of that hip bone here. So as soon as my hand goes in, that's where we're looking, the iliac crest. And then it's a diagonal fold on the anterior line, so a little bit in front here. So you should get a good diagonal pinch there. All right, and our next one is going to be the abdomen. Kristen's going to turn and face you. This one is 2 centimeters to the right of the belly button. All right, so make sure this one's confusing because I'm going to look and try to go on my right, but make sure it's your client's right on all of the folds. So you're going to take your tape measure. You're not going to eyeball this one. If it gives you a direct measurement, you're going to directly measure this. 2 centimeters here. And then I'm going to make my vertical line. This is a vertical fold. Okay, then you're going to get a pinch there. and then we're gonna do thigh. You're gonna have your client just kind of kickstand their right foot up. You are going to palpate for that inguinal crease, and then you're going to the top of the patella. So I've got a 15, which is gonna give me a 7.5. The thigh is actually one of the most difficult measures. It's probably the most painful for your client because oftentimes that's more a muscular area for your client. Sorry, Kristen's like, oh great. It's more of a muscular area, so it's a little harder to kind of pull the fat off of the muscle. All right, so now that all of your lines are marked, we're gonna go through this in circuit fashion. So if we were just doing the 3, let's say we were doing female, we'd go tricep, suprailiac, thigh, then tricep, suprailiac, thigh. The reason it's important to do this in circuit fashion on skin folds is once I pinch that skin, I can kind of just misshapen it a little bit. So you want to let it relax and kind of regain that elasticity and that normal skin texture that it would have. So we're going to do all 7. And if you want to, just to compare, you'll have to do it for an assignment anyway. You're going to go through all 7, then you can pull those 3 numbers out and then put them into your calculation. So we're going to start with triceps. I'm going to have Kristen face this way and a little bit more actually to your left so they can see. So on this one, you want to make sure the arm's totally relaxed. You only want it bent for the measurement. I'm going to put my left hand up here. If you're left-handed, you're going to have a little bit of trouble because you most likely have a right-handed skin caliper. I've not seen a left-handed skin caliper yet. I'm sure they make them custom. So my right hand's here with my trigger. These are my millimeters. And then my left hand's gonna go up and over. So it's kind of like you're doing this, you're winging out. That's the easiest way to do it. You don't wanna pinch below, you're always pinching above. Make sure when you go in, your hands aren't down like this and your fingers uneven. You wanna go straight in parallel to the floor. So I'm gonna go here, about 1 centimeter above my X, and then this is the skin fold. So ideally I'm going in midway between the base and the crest. So the base is here where my fingers are, and the crest is at top of that fold. So I don't want to go all the way in here. I've seen this where you put your skin calipers over your fingers. Your client's not going to like that number. It's going to increase their body fat percentage. So you're going to go in here. I'm going to put my calipers on the mark, and I'm just going to let it set for 1 or 2 seconds. All right, I've got a 14, and then pull it back out. Another thing that I see students do is they'll go in here, and then they'll pull this out, and then they'll look at their number. Like you're not going to mess that up a little bit. You want to make sure you do it while it's on your client. So I said 14, I'm going to write that down real quick. All right, subscapular. You can rest your arm. I will have you with your other arm hold this down. So sports bras are a little tricky on this one. Again, 1 to 2 centimeters above, going in right on that mark between the base of the crest. Got a 9. We'll go chest. All right, can you pull your sports bra just a little bit? Yep, so we're gonna reach in here, and then nice and easy, we've got a 3. Axilla here. Can you bring your sports bra just a little bit up? Yeah, here we go. All right, and rest. So you can move your hand, that'll probably stay there. Can you put your arm across your chest? Awesome. We're gonna reach in on the X. Got a 5. Down to suprailiac. Turn a little bit this way. All right, can you guys see that? Big pinch up here. All right, 16. Abdomen. Big pinch above. This one's actually tricky too for a lot of people. The leaner you are, the easier it is to pull the fat off that muscle. Okay. 14. Thigh. Just relax the thigh on this one. Make sure they're not flexed at all. Perfect. So you're gonna go in. Kristen might be making some faces now. Feels great. And then we got a 23. Okay, so now what you do, this is trial 1. You go through and do trial 2. I'm not gonna do it just so you guys don't have to watch another 10 minutes of video. Let's say on my trial 2, I get a 15. Awesome, I'm good. So I'm going to average those two for my calculation. That's the number that's going in. Let's say on subscap I get a 13. If it's more than 2 away, so if I didn't have a 7 or an 11 and I was either under a 7 or over an 11, I need to do that specific area a 3rd time. But I'm going to wait till I get all the way through it again, because that's circuit fashion thing. So if my 3rd trial is not within 2 millimeters of one of these two, then I'm just going to scrap it and redo the whole thing. It should be because you marked the X, but again, you guys are newer at this, so initially you might have some issues with this. So just make sure it's within 1 to 2. If it's not, you do a 3rd trial. All right, so I'm just going to make up numbers for the rest of these here so we can do some math. All right, I'm going to average it. 16.5, 5.5, 3.5, and then we'll pretend my 3rd one was a 9, so I'm going to give myself a 9. So for the 3-site Skinfold, we're going to go 14.5 plus 16.5, which gives me 1531 plus 5, 41, 51, 54. 54. So that's the number for my sum of 3 that's going into my female calculation. You guys will see that in your lab handout. And then my sum of 7, I'm going to do some math here. All right, okay, so a really big number here. And then you guys will plug that into your 7-site equation. If you have any questions, please let me know. That was the Skinfold assessment. Thank you, Kristen.